The spectator cuts to a random location in the deck and reveals 5 cards. They're given the choice to choose from any one of these cards, and there's nothing sneaky. They truly can pick any single one of these cards. So let's say they choose to think of this one as their card. The magician takes it, turns it over so that no matter where it is inside this packet, you'll know where it is. But with just a little magical snap, we actually make that card vanish from the cards, leaving only 4 cards right in front of their eyes. And where does it end up? Right in the wallet that's been on the table the entire time. Now, to do this trick, there's going to be a few things you prepare. First is duplicates of each of the 5 cards that the spectator is going to choose between. So for me, I picked out a duplicate Queen of Spades, 4 of Clubs, 3 of Diamonds, 7 of Spades, and Ace of Diamonds. But again, you could use any random cards. I like to throw in a face card and have a mix of red and black. So you're going to find those cards in a separate deck, and you're going to place those duplicates in the following locations. Now, if you know about the multiple out principle, you're probably getting ahead of me here and seeing where this is going, but I encourage you to watch till the end to see the intricacies of how each out can play out. So the first one is I put the queen here in the wallet. Now the other one that goes in the wallet is the ace, and I put it right here. Now there's a reason this works well. In one out, you're able to open to the queen, show that there's nothing else in here, and move on. In the other case, you're able to turn the wallet over, show this card, and that there's no other card in that pocket. In the deck, you're going to have one of the duplicates placed face up in the middle. Because of the force we use, I like to place it near the bottom, so that way when the spectator cuts the cards in half, they aren't cutting to the upturned card. So you have that card in the middle, and then one more of the duplicates on the bottom. So that's 2 in the wallet, 2 in the deck, and then you're gonna have one last one inside the card box or under the card box, or I like to put it in the cellophane here. All you have to do is make sure that this isn't ever shown unless you need to reveal that card. So like I said, this is the multiple outs principle. We taught another video on this channel where the multiple outs were used to make it look like your prediction always worked. In this case, we're going to make it look as though their thought of card, which feels unforced, travels to an isolated or impossible location. The thing with multiple outs is that isolation aspect where it makes it look as though it is the only object in that location. So take your original 5 cards and place them on top of the deck, place the deck in the box, and when you perform this, you might want to throw out your wallet, your phone, your keys on the table so that it is there in full view the whole time. So I'm just going to place these 2 objects to the side, and let's get into the performance. If you're enjoying this, consider subscribing so you don't miss another video. I also have magician merch on my channel, including items with card reveals on them so that you can use them as maybe a finale to a card routine you're doing. And hey, I made a journal for magicians that you can get on Amazon. You can keep track of your props and your pocket space, and this allows you to keep your notes on magic in a dedicated space away from other writing. And if you want to get videos ahead of time, you can join the membership at the Insider tier. Thank you for supporting this channel. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. We're once again going to use the cross-cut force, but you could use any force you want to. You could also use any false shuffles to get into this. But what you could do is show that all the cards are different by giving quick flashes while spreading across the top. The reason this is helpful is that you don't want to show the face-up card that's in the middle of the deck, and you also don't want to show the bottom card because we don't want them to see any duplicates. So once you've shown how all the cards are different, you are going to place the cards on the table, and like I said, we're using the cross-cut force. You can use a different one if you'd like. But if you've never learned that before, you're going to invite the audience to cut the deck into 2 piles, and then after they've done that, you're going to say, I'm just going to mark where you cut the cards. And when you do that, you place the cards in this orientation. And so by doing that, you're blatantly lying, but there's something psychological to this. You say that you're marking where they cut. This is where they cut. This is the top of the deck. But by doing this motion of they cut the deck into 2 piles and you say, I'm just going to mark that, and we'll get back to that in a minute. that is going to set them up to not really remember which card is which, and you're going to be able to force the card later. But for the crosscut force to work, we need what's called time misdirection. So you're just going to talk about something for a second. In this case, something like, now when you cut the cards, you weren't thinking too much about it, so it's pretty much a random chance wherever this is going to end up. But I don't want to just give you a kind of random moment. I want you to make a choice as well. So in a moment, I'm going to have you make a very important choice, and it's important for you to know that whatever you pick out of that is what we'll go with, okay? So that's interesting, and that kind of frames the trick. And that's really all the time you need. So you can come over to here, and this was the top of the deck, but you're going to say, all right, I'm just going to go to where you cut, and I'm actually going to take a few cards out. And that'll set you up to then turn over the force cards. Turning them over at this point is helpful so that they don't feel like it's weird that you're seeing the cards. Something in the kind of card selection procedure that can be hard is if you do a spread and you have them pick a card and then you say, oh, it's okay for me to see it, you can turn it over. That can always feel clunky and weird. So you've given them this moment to cut the cards. Now you can say, all right, let's look at a few of the cards you cut to. So we're all looking at the cards, it's no big deal, right? Then you're going to take what was the top half of the deck and place it back on top. That will maintain this revelation in case you need it. And of course the 3 of diamonds is still in the middle face up as well. You can mix these cards up if you like, or have them mix them up, and you're just going to lay them out and say, now, are you drawn to any of these cards? Which card do you want to go with? Whichever card you go with, that is the one we will use. They'll pick their card, and let's just, for sake of argument, use one of the wallet cards for now. And they pick that card. You say, are you sure? You can change your mind. The great thing is they really can change their mind. So just assuming they don't, you're going to explain how you're going to isolate that card here so that we all can see where it is. And then you get this cool moment where we're going to use an Elmsley count. Now an Elmsley count is a sleight of hand move. Where you're able to hide cards essentially. There's a lot you can do with it, but in this case we're going to use it to hide this card. So you place it facing the other way between the bottom cards. So you can't place it here or here, you're going to place it right here. And by turning it the other way and placing it there, that'll set you up for this Elmsley count. And so here are some brief mechanics. Peel over with your thumb. Now I'm in my subordinate hand, I'm left-handed, so I'm actually in my right hand for this. And I like to peel over with my thumb a little bit, which gives my dominant hand the opportunity to pinch here in sort of this grip. I peel over and I deal into my subordinate hand. And then before I go to deal again, I'm actually going to peel over all the cards. And in this grip, in this little pincher grip, that's actually going to be pretty easy to do. You're just going to be able to push over a block of those 3 cards without too much hassle. So you've peeled and you're pushing over a block. Now after you've done that, you're also going to load this card back onto the bottom. So you load that card back onto the bottom as you take that big block of cards. You can then go straight into dealing that card normally and dealing this card normally. Now, they will see this card twice, but because they're kind of in different random cards, in a quick flash, what they'll notice is the fact that there's no face down card. So one more time, they see that this card is turned over and that it's the card they've chosen, and you're going to peel over, dump, and put this back underneath, and then deal out normally. And they'll see 4 face-up cards and not their face-down card. What you can then do is one by one peel until you reach 4 cards so that you don't flash this bottom card. You don't just freely spread, you're going to peel from that subordinate dealing hand, like you're dealing cards individually, and you can show them. Now from here, there's going to be some things you can do to ditch this. But keep in mind, if you don't want to do all that sleight of hand, you can take these cards, you can mix it up, and you can pretend that it's gone away. You have to move on more quickly, but it is something you can consider if you're not feeling comfortable with the sleight of hand. But let's just say you've ended up here now, you know the rest, you're going to be able to reveal that the card has gone here. So from here, you can figure out what the rest is going to look like. If it wasn't the Queen of Spades they chose, maybe they chose the Ace of Diamonds, you make it vanish, you turn over the wallet and you show it. If they picked any of the other outs, the wallet can just stay there. You don't have to reference the wallet if that's not one of the outs they chose. If they chose the 3 of diamonds, you spread the deck and you show the 3 of diamonds. If they chose the 4 of clubs, you make that vanish and you show the 4 of clubs has ended up on the bottom of the deck, which was here the whole time. And then last, if they choose the 7 of spades, once again, make that 7 vanish, and then you show it under here. So do you see how that works? In all cases, what you want to present is, now look, you'll notice that I wasn't touching the deck this whole time, but now suddenly that 3 of diamonds has traveled there, or that 4 of clubs has traveled there. In the case of the box, you could say, I haven't been touching the box this whole time, it's traveled there. Now what about this lingering card here? Well, of course, when the time is right, you can place this on top and show that there's really only 4 cards left. Another thing you can do if you're comfortable with it is you can Gambler's Cop the bottom card away, which is where you kind of hold it in this grip. It's kind of toward the back of your hand. You can Gambler's Cop it away to your pocket. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out the video that's being recommended to you on the screen at the end here. But until next time, keep enjoying your magic, stay a hobbyist at heart, and I'll see you guys in the next video.